We have One Piece chapter 1039 titled The Main Attraction. It really should be titled Law's Broken because Law went crazy in this chapter. We'll talk about that a little bit later. There's going to be a colored cover page with the strides on it. It looks good. And also it's going to be Luffy and Kaido on the cover of Weekly Shonen Jump, and it says Wano has reached his climax. So that's pretty exciting, but let's talk about it. The chapter starts off with Momonosuke. He is dragging Onigashima by Kaido's flame clouds away from the capital, and then when he's doing that, Momonosuke is panting. He's obviously tired, and then he says, "Who's calling me? Is someone calling me?" That reminds me of Zanisha on Zao and Momonosuke and Luffy. They're like, "Hey, what is that noise that we're hearing? Who's talking to me?" And we know that Zanisha is close to Wano, so maybe Zanisha's in contact with Momonosuke, giving him orders or telling him what he should do, giving him advice. Maybe Zanisha has something up its sleeve. We're back on the live floor. It appears that Law and Kid took down Big Mom. Like in every chapter, usually whenever Otis says somebody versus somebody, usually there's a victor. However, in this case, it's not. They're emperors, right? Big Mom's not going to go down that easily. And I like how Law and Kid, they're going back and forth. Law's like, all right, look, Eustace, yeah, I'm sick and tired of me having my attack seem like an opening act, and then you come in, follow, and take all the credit. He's like, no, don't do that. And the Kid's like, man, who cares? We're fighting an emperor, all right? All we care is about winning. I don't give a fluff if I'm following your attack or whatnot. And so Law, they just keep going back and forth. Law, he's like, hey man, you need to go first next time, and I'll do the finishing blow. And then Kid's like, man, it really don't matter, right? He said, I'll beat her with my trump card, which I find kind of funny because earlier, I think in chapter 1029 or something, they had said that their awakenings were their trump card, that they have to use that like against all odds. But now Kid's saying he has another one, which I'm like, okay, you thought you would have used it already. Law, he's talking about, what is your trump card? You already did a rhino. It's going to be a hippo, a bull attack next. Like, well, what's up, an elephant? So they're going back and forth, and then Kid says something a little bit sus. He's like, I'm not going to tell you how much I'm packing. I was like, hey yo, Kid, relax, that's a little bit too much information. But during all that, Big Mom, she gets back up and her bones are broken. You can see her wrist is kind of like flailed like that. She also claims that she has some broken bones and broken ribs. In order to heal that, she uses her devil fruit. She gives up some of her life in order to heal herself, which leads me to believe that whenever Big Mom does this, is weakening her. Even though it's like fixing her, it's also weakening her at the same time, as she is giving up some of her life. She is old, so this could be how Big Mom goes out, by slowly but surely killing herself along the lines of fighting with Kid and Law. She also says that Trafalgar, his techniques are dangerous. I mean, we know this. The Ope no Mi is very broken. It can allow you to switch places with shambles. Got tact, counter shock, injection shot. What else? There's a lot of other ones. Gamma knife. Then there's Kroom, and then how they attack you from the inside, shockwaves from the inside, and then he can elongate his sword like Yin from Bleach, which we'll talk about a little bit later in the chapter. Law and Kid, they're like, hey, this attack will be my last. And then Kid's like, man, shut the fuck up, stop giving me orders. I just love the banter between the two, going back and forth. One thing that I did mention a while ago, well, not a while ago, in my last review, and I still think I might do a video about it, I don't know yet, but I'm not a fan of how Kid's using his devil fruit. I feel like a lot of times he's just attacking with like a bunch of metal. Like, don't get me wrong, Punk Gibson's cool when he like takes you and slams you into the ground. I think that's cool, but a lot of times he's just building himself with metal and just slinging it at people, and which, I mean, it's okay. I just feel like it's anticlimactic. There's some metal users like Magneto we would love to see. What Kid did later in the chapter I thought was kind of cool, his attack, but at the same time, well, I'm jumping around. We'll talk about this, what I want to mention, a little bit later. Now, there was a panel of Kid jumping at Big Mom and they're about to clash. This reminds me of Levi and Zeke clashing in season 4 of Attack on Titan, going back and forth. I like that. And Kid, he's using his awakening. He's assigning magnetism to Big Mom, where he assigns it to where she can't move off of a building, and he's slamming the rhino into her. And then Big Mom, she uses this attack with Hera that it allows her to like manifest in like a big form, and then everybody's like, "Ah, shoot, we're about to die." It's like her attack, it's doing some weird stuff. And then Law, he comes in with Tack with the big pillar that we've seen been utilized where Momonosuke was being executed. He uses that to slam it on the Big Mom. And personally, I thought that was his finisher. I was like, Law, you mean to tell me that this was your finisher? That you did all this and all you can do is Tack? And I was like, dang, we're about to go out. We're about to go out. But that wasn't what his finisher was. Law then uses Kroom, and then he uses it where he elongates his sword. But I thought last chapter Law elongated his sword a lot. Hell nah, this man Law elongated it so much that he put it through the floor. Yamato saw it through the basement, and it reached all the way to the bottom of Wano, like the actual land of Wano. And so when Law did that, it's called puncture Willy. So Law, he puts it through, and then he's about to attack Big Mom, and he sends so much of a shockwave, and he did so much damage that it left a crater from the live floor through the basement, through the depths of Wano, and it just left this big old hole. And I'm a little bit scared, all right? I seen his crew talk about, whoa, Captain, what are you doing? You might die. And I'm sitting here crossing my fingers because I've seen so many theories about how Law's going to die and all this in Wano. And I don't want him to die. I mean, I think we need some casualties, but I really don't want him to die. So, like, seeing this is a little bit scary. I don't like that. But we see Big Mom bleeding. Law has been putting in work. His fruit is so broken. Law, I think I've underestimated him. I think earlier I said Zoro beats him, King maybe. Like now I'm starting to, I don't know. Law might be low top tier too. I specifically just because he has these hacks and like his speed too. Like Law's kind of broken. And then we saw Kid. Like I said earlier, I talked about how I wasn't too pleased with how he's using his fruit. This time, this attack is actually pretty cool. Kid manifests a gun where I think he's hitting Big Mom with magnetism. It's probably gonna shoot her, like and force her down through the hole that was punctured, and so she might fall all the way down out of Onigashima onto the mainland of Wano. And so the attack looks pretty cool. They combine, and then he says the attack's called Damn Punk, and so I think it's pretty cool. They talk about how the end of her era. The one thing I didn't like about this fight, it was a little bit short. I feel like Luffy and Kaido, I know Luffy's the main character, and in this arc Kaido's the main antagonist, but I feel like their fight has been focused on a lot more than this one. And for Big Mom to be an emperor, I feel like she went down a little bit too easily. But maybe that's just me underestimating Law and Kid and their strength. But that was cool. I will say I was a little bit upset that I thought that Kid's attack would have been Advanced Conquerors. But I haven't seen any signs of him using the Black Lightning. And we know Big Mom could use it. She knocked out Page 1 with Advanced Conquerors. So I will say I am disappointed that Kid didn't beat her or use Advanced Conquerors on her. Because she fought with Kaido and fought with a lot of these strong opponents who have Conquerors Haki and can use Advanced. I feel like she shouldn't be beaten without it. But at the same time, Law's Devil Fruit's broken. Kid did something. So they talk about how this is the end of their era, and so maybe this is the end. This time I actually do think it's the end. I think Big Mom is done. There's, like I said, the fight, I give it about a 7 out of 10. I just think it was cool. I feel like Kid was kind of an afterthought, but I do feel like this was really short. And I wish it was longer, but other than that, I'd say it was pretty solid. But let me know how you guys feel about this chapter. I think all that's left, really, well, the main people to fight is Kaido and Luffy, which we don't really care about. We care about the one fight, Fuguro Kujo versus Raijo. I think those are the only two, and maybe Orochi and Hiyori. I think those are the only three that really had to be done. But yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to see what happens with Zoro and the Grim Reaper and what is all left, who joined the crew. I can't wait. Wano, it's coming to a conclusion. Like they said, the climax is here. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out a new video from it. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok is on the screen in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.